get through these rooms, and it's going to be easier just to lay a power bomb here. We're going to drop to the left. Charge up a diffusion missile. No, I didn't want to screw attack him. I need him. How did the screw attack happen? I was morphed. Right? Oh, now the pattern's all sorts of screwed up. Oh, no. Okay, that's better. Okay. It made me stand up on one of them. That's what happened. That's weird. Oh, well, that's not too difficult now. So we got 2 power bomb tanks. And we're going to make our way down to a missile and a power bomb tank, I believe. I have to go through here. Power bomb lay. Oh, no, wrong room. I mean, it's the right room, but I mean the wrong room to lay the power bomb. This is where you lay the power bomb. I'm going to do a safety save. Okay, into the boss room, we have to screw attack up to the far right corner and break through a screw attack wall. And this should be it for this area, because I'll get a power bomb tank and a missile tank, and then the last power bomb is on the main deck, which we'll get at the end, so. This is a speed boost gauntlet. So I'm going to have to use speed boost tricks. And I flubbed that one. But we'll get it this time. Just like that. Okay, so that's the last missile tank in the game. And again, the Shine Spark didn't get stored. We have to chain these. I apologize for the lack of commentary, but that is difficult to pull off, and I did it like second, third try? So that is everything through the main sectors. Now we just have to make our way back to the main deck, and we can finish out the game. So I am gonna safety save again, just because now we have everything. How are we on time? Oh, wow, that's incredible. That is incredible. This is probably like one of the best I've done. I didn't want to fall through that. And I go to the right, don't I? Yeah. Then to the left. These guys still have a lot of resilience to these weapons. I mean, not those guys, to the screw attack. I just meant the other guys to the wave beam. Especially since it's a penetrating weapon, it should hit them from multiple frames. Alright, this is a long navigation room sequence. Lots of dialogue. And this is where we learn that the Federation has taken an interest in capturing the SAX and obviously using it for military applications. Having your own clones of Samus at her max power at your disposal, like just drop them on a planet and just let the devastation happen. You just have to like drop one and then let it replicate multiple times. And you learn that the Federation here stopped sending Samus support data like the plasma beam and the diffusion missiles. They didn't want her actually fighting the SAX because she would destroy it. And somehow Samus still acquired all of these upgrades and all of these power-ups, all these weapons. Yep, as soon as the Federation ships land, the X will overwhelm them and absorb the knowledge and power of their occupants. The X are just waiting for the hunt to begin, and they'll spread across the universe. Galactic civilization will end. The X hunger for form, knowledge, and power. They mimic these perfectly, but they cannot copy the soul. They're single-minded, instinctively seeking to increase in number. They're a plague in the Federation. I went too quick. The X must not leave here. I must destroy them all before the Federation arrives. This station has a self-destruct mechanism. I must use it to destroy the X here and on the planet. I must send them into oblivion. Them, the station, and myself if I have to. Oh no, the doors are locked. He won't let me leave. Been ordered to confine you. And then a slip of the tongue there, Samus calls the computer Adam. Who's Adam? A friend of mine. And what would this friend advise you to do now? He would know that the only way to end this is to start the self-destruct cycle. He'd know how important it is. And did this Adam care for you? Would he sit in a safe command room and order you to die? He would understand that some must live and some must die. He knew what it meant. He made that sacrifice once. So he chose life for you, our fair warrior, Samus Aran. Your Adam gave his life so that you might keep yours, for the sake of the universe. How foolish. How dare you? How could you hope to understand, machine? You know that detonating the station in high orbit would not guarantee the extinction of the X-parasites, even though the station would be utterly destroyed. You would only succeed in removing one obstacle to the galaxy's ruin, yourself. You would ignore this simple fact and choose death. When Adam decided who would live, he chose incorrectly. But if you were to alter the station's orbit, you might be able to include the planet in the vaporization field of the self-destruct detonation. You would have to start the propulsion sequence now before the Federation arrives. Samus, this is your last mission. Go to the operations room and adjust the station's orbit on a path to intercept SR-388. Any objections, lady? And that's where you get the hint. You learn that Adam's consciousness, her old commanding officer, was uploaded digitally, and that he has been her commanding officer through this entire thing, which is really cool. I mean, it's a sci-fi trope in a sense, but I mean, it's a nice little touch for this game. But now we have to go. We're in the end game now. We're at the point of no return. We just have to get one more item. We have a power bomb tank to pick up in the main sector, and that's it. It's just right up here. Lay that power bomb to break the block that's right there. So we get the power bomb tank. And this should be everything. 20 out of 20, 48 out of 48, 32 out of 32. 100% completion, less than 2 hours. All we have to do now is not screw up from here on out. We just have to kill the SAX and beat the game. Spoilers, you have to... I went the wrong direction. I almost screwed it up. I was like too entrenched in my own mind and like, oh my goodness, this is going so well. That would have been disastrous. Okay, so we're going up here. This is the proper route to take right after getting that power bomb. We'll save. Why not? This is like the last chance you get to save before this anyway, so... Well, it's not the last chance, but it is the last chance. But it's the best time to do it. Can't believe I almost went the wrong direction. That would have been hilariously awful to lose it to that. I mean, even if I went all the way to the ship, it wouldn't have mattered. I would have had plenty of time to get back. Alright, we're at the tail end here. And this fight is really easy. I'm going to say right now. You can just kind of put the SAX into a cycle. And you can use like tricks with ice missiles to like stun lock him. But I just do this where you shoot it and then jump over it. And you just kind of charge up while you're jumping. And when it lands or stops screw attacking, you just hit it. And just make sure that you don't make physical contact with it because it will kind of mess up the cycle a little bit. And then after it transforms, don't blink because I'm going to be able to kill it really quickly. So its hitbox is going to be always active right here. I'm going to shoot it once. I'm going to shoot straight up, and it's going to jump. What's going to happen is it's actually going to jump through the wave beam and get hit multiple times and then just die right there. And now we have the Corex that has the ice beam, which we unfortunately cannot absorb. But I'm just going to let it hit me because my health is irrelevant at this point. There's no way this thing can kill me now. And your health doesn't matter in the end. All the upgrades don't matter. You're so way overpowered for this. So we'll attempt to grab this X. It'll run away. Then we'll be able to go into the navigation room. So yeah, that's a really fun, really easy and really fun fight. But it's a lot more difficult if you don't have like a lot of health, because then if you just make contact with it once, you're dead. But now we have 3 in-game minutes to beat the game, and yeah, this is going to be like a 145 on my time, like a 145, 146, which I think is probably the best I've ever done. If I can get the perfect fight on the Omega Metroid that's coming up, oh, I'm going to be set, because you can kind of stun lock it with the ice beam. If you get right up in there and spam it just right and hit it with all 3 portions of the beam. When we get through this room, we're going to use a screw attack just to jump straight to the bottom. Jump over those little pits that you will get caught in. And trigger the Omega Metroid fight. So, just gotta let it hit me once. Take me down to 1 HP. Come on. There we go. Okay, and after I absorb the SAX, I'm going to use the Ice Beam to kill the Mega Metroid, but I'm going to concentrate because if I can get it right, then I can really quickly kill this guy. I just got to get it to slash kind of once. I flubbed it because I ran into it. Now I'm stunned. I'm locked into this little cycle. You can one-cycle him if you do it right, but I walked too far. I got too greedy. I dug too greedily and too deep. You gotta hit him just right, and I'm barely missing it. And I'm running into it, so that doesn't help. Like that. That's what you're supposed to do. Still didn't work, though. And you get kind of locked into this stun sequence because before you can, like, always fully recover, it gets another slash off. It's okay, though. I got it. It had that little health left. We have the Ice Beam. Yay! And as soon as the ship grabs me, that is the time. So what are we at right now? 145. I think that's the best I've ever done for this. Honestly, I think that's the best run I've ever had, even with all those little errors I had. So it just makes me think that if I could go back and optimize the elements of killing enemies properly and the platforming and everything else, I could get a really good time out of this. But I am very happy with that. Very, very, very happy. That was an excellent run. Had a few little mishaps here and there, and didn't optimize the fights with the bosses as well as I could have possibly done, but overall I think it worked out pretty well. So here we get the epilogue. That perfect military mind, the wisdom of Adam Malkovich, continued to serve even after death. Until today, I had no idea that the minds of leaders and scientists were frequently uploaded to computers. My incredible reunion with Adam may have saved the universe. But how will the beings of the universe view our resolve? I doubt they will understand what we did, the danger we barely averted. They will hold tribunals and investigations. They will hold us responsible. Adam understood this, and he spoke to me in my anger. Do not worry. One of them will understand. One of them must. I've reflected upon his words, and I see the wisdom in them. We are all bound by our experiences. They are the limits of our consciousness. But in the end, the human soul will ever reach for the truth. This is what Adam taught me. Just one detail still bothers me. The ship can only be started manually. Yet, before I faced the Omega Metroid, the ship moved on its own, guided by someone's hands. Is it possible? Adam? No. Lady, what's troubling you? You wonder how I started the ship? Just think about it. They gave me a hand. They lent me a hand. I'm sorry, I screwed up the text. But yep, the Edecuns and Decoras, extremely intelligent beings. I mean, it only makes sense they piloted the one ship off of Zebes before in Super Metroid. So only makes sense that under the right direction they'd be able to pilot that ship as well. But that's it. I wish you could speed up these because you don't see your completion until everything is all said and done. But this has been an awesome run. I thank you all so much for joining me through this entire thing. I did it one setting, no deaths, no restarts, nothing. Just got it all. Had a couple trouble with some of the other tricks and nailed some of the harder ones pretty quickly, but overall, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And this is such an amazing game, and this is a game that if you want to speedrun or you just want to sit down and try and push yourself, this is a really good game because it's a really short game. It's really straightforward. It's really intuitive. It controls really well. But again, if you're going to play it on the Game Boy player, I really suggest using a Game Boy Advance for your controller because you need the precision of the GBA's D-pad because the D-pad on the GameCube controller, like I said, it's kind of floaty. It floats a little bit, and it makes these precision elements really difficult because sometimes you'll be jumping, then you'll unmorph. You'll be in a morph ball and you'll unmorph. You'll try to do weird little things, and it just doesn't want to work. So using the Game Boy Advance as your controller is really the best way to go about it. That's really all I'd say. I really hope they make another Metroid Fusion. I really would love to see another one. I want to see where the lore goes. I want to see if the X-Parasites come back at all. I want to see the Federation's results from that Metroid breeding program. I want to see the SAX come back, even though it's basically another Dark Samus. It's got its own thing, but seeing like an army of Samus Arans attacking the Federation or something, or Samus having to go fight off all the SAX would be really cool. All right. We have the end result. That beautiful color scheme of Samus's normal suit on the fusion suit. There we have it. The best ending you can get. Clear time 145. Rate for collecting items 100%. Hell yeah. That was an awesome run. That was excellent. I am very happy with that. And so with that, I think that's a good time to go ahead and end this stream here. Thank you all for joining me for this, for watching. This was, I think, a great start to this new channel. I think this is an awesome way to kick everything off. I'm so excited, and I'll be back probably Tuesday with a new game altogether. So I guess we'll just go ahead and end it. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.